Here's the steps to replace your analog thermostat with a digital thermostat. There's some little tabs that hold the front panel onto the wall plate. I'm just going to pop that off from the bottom. And there's two screws that hold it in place. One here, one here. The only drawback of the new thermostat is it's not going to cover both of those holes. So let's remove our screws. Just be careful not to poke the circuit board. And I would also recommend pulling the fuse for the furnace. On the back side of the original thermostat, the wires come pre-attached to the thermostat. I don't know for sure how long the pigtail harness is, probably about 6 or 8 inches. I can feel up in the wall where they're spliced into factory wiring that has run through the wall when the RV is constructed. So what we'll have to do is snip these wires and attach them to the new thermostat. So I've snipped the wires. I've left just a little bit of wire here. That way there's enough room to put a splice connector on and reuse the old thermostat. Sometimes I've been known to remove some of my upgraded equipment when I sell an RV and put my old stuff back in place. Another thing that you might want to investigate is the size of this hole before you decide if you want to install a new thermostat. These are my mounting holes and they're just barely going to cover up that hole. And unfortunately it will end up with those two holes exposed, but I have access to a wood shop, and at some point what I'll do is build a big wooden block, drill a hole through it, run my wire through that, attach the thermostat to the wooden block, and probably put some keyhole hooks or something on that wooden block to make it a useful component. So I've got my wires stripped back, and the back of the thermostat is labeled with the color codes that you need to connect the wires to. I've got my new wires installed, little push terminals on the back. You can actually push them in with your fingernail and then use your other hand and poke the wires into the little receptacle. It's kind of difficult to do with my short wire leads here. And you would remove the wires doing the same thing, just push in on the little gray square on the wire block and pull the wires back out. So I'll just do a tug on each wire to be sure that it's actually fully secured and everything looks good. So once you have your thermostat wired up, you can attach these two little buttons to the wall. They're separated with a spacer bar, and that's exactly what it is. It's a spacer to get the correct distance so that the keyhole slots in the back of the thermostats line up with both of the buttons. So once you get your two buttons screwed to the wall, then you can break that tab or that spacer bar off in the middle. Here's a brief overview of operation of the thermostat. Right now it's displaying inside temperature and it's turned off, meaning all functions are turned off. So the display has a backlight, so the first time we push the button there's a backlight that lights up inside the display. It stays on for several seconds. Once it goes off, push it again to get it to come back on, and then each time you push the button again, once the backlight's on, then it changes modes. So right now fan is on low and the air conditioning fan just kicked on, so tap it once, tap it again, and then high. Once the light is on and stays on, then you only have to tap it one time to get it to change modes. So there we are, cool low, cool auto high, and then heat, and then off. So fan low, fan high, cool low, cool low auto, cool high auto, and then heat. Same thing with the temperature setting. Press once, light turns on, press it again, then it displays the set temperature, press it again to change the set temperature. Once it's off, let's try something again. Push the button, push it again. Okay, when the mode is set to off, pushing the temperature button doesn't do anything. So that pretty much sums up the installation.